Hey all, welcome back. So previously I did an episode on what to watch out for when you're buying a used plane. Talked about looking for paint defects, looking for issues, asking really close-ups from your seller. Or if you're reselling, also check your planes before selling. Because some of these models are 15, 20 years old and some things they get hidden for a long time. Now, the fun fact about this plane, this one's one that was not on the zinc rod list that I mentioned in my previous video on Model Hangar 3. By the way, I will put the link again down here, so you guys can check it out. This one is now added on that list. And I also had some collectors already reach out to me like, Renee, really? Zinc rod on this model? So everyone is getting a bit freaked out and nervous. Now, hopefully it's a one-off, so that being a one-time bad mold, so something that was molded improperly. By the way, this is the AA32009 Hurricane Tank Buster. Really cool plane, by the way, especially with the tank busters. Now, I'm selling off a lot of models at the moment. I bought a big bulk. I took out like 48 planes for myself. Yeah, 48 planes. And the rest we were supposed to sell off. Now, it was just like this one in the box. By the way, this one is for sale and in an okay condition. And all of a sudden I was looking and I was like, I see some crackling on the wings. Because I check all my planes before I send them out. I clean them, I give them a good hoover, whatever is needed, but I make sure that they are nice and checked up. So I was unboxing this little guy and I started noticing the following cracks. And I'll go around the corner in a second to show you guys a bit close up. And one thing that I know from zinc rod, as soon as you start pulling on the metal and really forcing it, it starts to crack. So we'll go in close-up mode just to warn you guys all and show you again where to find the list and where to find more information, especially for newbies. Because, to be honest, if I would have sold this and I would have not noticed, I would have taken it back and give the money back to the customer. But there are a lot of people that will not and say like, hey, dude, you had your checking rights, which is a bit sad and sick at one moment, but yeah, that happens unfortunately. But yeah, we'll go in a close-up mode and then show you guys what's going on with the model. All right, so a bit of a close-up. So I put the wing back in the spot, but as you might notice, it falls off. Same with this little guy. So how did I notice? I started noticing the crackling line. So that means that layers in between, so when the mold was poured, they're coming out of each other. So they're separating. And the separation is going quite fast now. And just to give you an idea, let's see if I can get this on camera. So you see in the pore, there are little air pockets now. Not just air pockets, of course, there's also metal that goes across. But it's getting this weird, interesting color where it's also in between the layers now cracking. The main fuselage, not that bad yet, but it's a matter of time. It could be that it's just the wing assemblies, that they are from one pore and that these are the problem makers. Because also in this wing, it's starting already. So nothing you can do about it. I made some drill spots just to see like, is there something I can see, but it's just shiny because I'm polishing it up with the drill. But so far, by the way, this is another problem. The elastic bands that were in there, they eat up the paint. Not here, no, also in the, no, it is mainly in the bottom fuselage. So maybe this part is not affected yet, but I'm not going to take risks. I just took off the propeller. Maybe we'll remove the antenna for spare parts and the glass if I can. But in general, this is a write-off. So this is not something you should sell or want to buy. For me, this is now a fun example from my channel. So I'm going to keep it as is. I'm going to put it somewhere in a box. Zinc rod doesn't spread, by the way. So there's a rumor that this will affect your other models. Absolute lie. It's about what's going on inside this metal of this pore. Nothing to do with your other models, so don't worry about that. But I would not recommend keeping them with your models. Why? If something starts falling off in your cabinet, this one is high up and the wing falls off and just crashes right on the glass in the right spot, could pop the glass. So I would never do that. But yeah, this is a nice example of, shit, this happens also. So I hope this was educational for all you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Also share your comments, like if you ever had this before. And if you have pictures, I'm always interested. And also check out the list. If you're not on the list yet, you're playing, put it on the list. Make other collectors aware so we don't fall into the same trap. Now, luckily for me, this was already a write-off. I made my money. I made my own models out of this story. But yeah, it's something to be careful of, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.